Hi folks, I hope that you guys are doing pretty well. So today's Thursday, the 12th of September 2024, and in today's video, I'm going to show you why the 24 elders, in my view, are actually made up of the 12 children of Jacob and also of the 12 apostles. Okay, so 12 plus 12, making up the 24 elders in the book of Revelation. Okay, so in the program here, I'm going to show you four major points for you to consider. And I want to prove to you by showing the biblical evidence that actually these 24 elders, they have to be part of this 12 group of people made up of the 12 children of Jacob plus the 12 apostles. Okay, so let us start with, shall we? So the 24 elders, the evidence. It appears to me, according to my study of the Bible, that symbolically that the 24 elders could well be the 12 apostles. The 12 apostles are the foundation stones, okay, of the new city of Jerusalem. See Revelation 21, verse 14. They are going to be the churches, okay, churching the 12 tribes of Israel, according to the prophecy in Matthew chapter 19, verse 28, okay. And it's also the 24 elders are made up of the 12 apostles, plus the 12 children of Jacob, pertaining to the 12 tribes of Israel. So 12 plus 12 equals 24 elders. Okay? And of course, if you read the book of Revelation, John the apostle was carried away in the spirit, according to Revelation 21, verse 10, and he was shown the great city, the new Jerusalem. Okay? Now, I want to show you four major bits of evidence, if you like, and we are going to be going one by one. Okay? I'm going to make this video very simple so that you understand why I believe that the 24 elders are actually made up of the 12 children of Jacob and the 12 apostles. Now, the first bit of evidence, like I said to you, is actually symbolically, okay, or symbolic. Now, of course, the New Jerusalem, if you read in the book of Revelation, okay, the 12 foundation stones have the name of the 12 apostles, okay, and the new city or the New Jerusalem has 12 gates. And because it's a square city, there's three gates on each side. And all the gates have one name of the 12 children of Jacob. In other words, if you add the four gates, they have the names of the 12 children of the 12 tribes of Israel. Another interesting thing to know is that the New Jerusalem, the city, is colored in jasper. Okay, I just did a video as to why is it that God seems to like the color jasper or amber, and that's because God is an all-consuming fire, and so the color jasper symbolizes, fire. If you like, it actually represents God. Have a look at that video that I just posted on my channel, showing you biblical evidence as to why God seems to like the color jasper so much, and actually the first foundation stone is actually colored in jasper. Okay. So, symbolically speaking, then the 24 elders, they have to be composed of the 12 children of Jacob plus the 12 apostles. Okay, why? Because symbolically we see the names here. Okay, we see the names of the 12 apostles here as the foundation stones, and we see the children of Jacob, here with the being symbolized on each door, if you like, okay, on each gate, okay. And so you will have to think for yourselves then is that God and Jesus, they manifest themselves in the new city. You got God the Father, and then you have Jesus sitting on his right side. They are manifesting themselves here in the New Jerusalem. And so I also believe, and I made a video recently saying that in actual fact, the New Jerusalem is actually going to be not just a city, but actually the nation of Israel in itself. Because It's been symbolically represented here with the 12 foundation stones of the apostles, plus with the guides with the names of the 12 children of Jacob. Okay, and all this symbolism represents the entire Jewish covenant. It's all Jewish, the entire covenant. Because it says in Revelation, and I want you to remember this, that the nations, that's right, the nations are coming into the new city to worship God and Jesus. And the fact that the nations separate from the new city are coming into worship into the new city, not only it tells you that the New Jerusalem is actually, the New Jerusalem itself, but it's actually the nation of Israel because the nations are coming in to worship God and Jesus. And look at all the symbolism, that represents Israel, the 12 apostles who are Jewish and the 12 guides, each guide having the name of one of the children of Jacob, that was representing the 12 children or the 12 tribes of Israel. The entire Jewish covenant symbolized here with the New Jerusalem, This is the entire nation, not just the city, not just the New Jerusalem, but in fact the new nation of Israel when we get the new earth, the entire Jewish covenant, and with the color Chespa, the whole city representing God Himself, because God likes the color Ember or Chespa, because in the book of Hebrews it says that God is a consuming fire, and so the color Chespa represents that, the color of fire, if you like, And so think about this. If these 24 elders, and I want you to think about this, if these 24 elders were not part of this group of the 12 children of Jacob plus the 12 apostles, if they weren't they, you would think that they would have to be manifested here, because if it's not, if these 24 elders are not part of this group, the apostles and the sons of Jacob, then you would think that they are so important to God that they will have to be manifested somehow by name in the new city, because they are so important, and yet we don't hear the names in the new city. But we do, we don't read about the names in the new city, but we do read in the book of Revelation that we have the names of the 12 apostles and the names of the 12 children of Jacob symbolized here. And so 12 plus 12 equals 24 elders. The 12 children of Jacob plus the 12 apostles representing the entire Jewish covenant. There has to be the 24 elders. Otherwise, these 24 elders, if they are not part of this group, in other words, the sons of Jacob and the 12 apostles, you will think that they will have to be manifested here. Because if they are so important and God is here and Jesus is here, if they are not this group, if they are so important to God, they will have to be here. And we don't have the names here, but we have the names of the 12 children of Jacob and the name of the 12 apostles. So they have to be, the children of Jacob and the 12 apostles have to be the 24 elders representing the entire Jewish covenant. Anyway, point number 2, okay? So Revelation chapter 4 verse 4 talks about the 24 elders. Now, importantly, the 24 elders, they are not angels, okay? Because this cluster of prophecies tells us that there were 24 elders according to the vision of John, okay? John the Apostle was carried away in the Spirit, and according to his vision, there were 24 elders, 4 beasts, and the Lamb, plus angels. So the 24 elders are not angels, okay? These 24 elders had to be saints, people that were saved and they went up. In other words, there had to be the 12 apostles plus the 12 children of Jacob, okay? And also because Revelation chapter 3 is my third bit of evidence. Sorry, in the book of Corinthians, this is my third bit of evidence, but in the first book of Corinthians, chapter 6, verses 2 and 3 says the saints shall judge the world and the angels, okay? So these 24 elders, they are not angels. For starters, when you read this cluster of scriptures, in the vision that John has, the apostle, he talks about how he saw 24 elders, 4 beasts, and the Lamb plus angels. Okay, so these 24 elders, there have to be signs because they are going to judge angels and the world, like it says here in First Corinthians. I'll show you the events in a moment. And evidence number 4, in Matthew chapter 19, verse 28, it says that the 12 apostles will sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is perfectly symbolized here. You know, the names of the 12 apostles, being the foundation stone, that was holding, the entire city with the 12 guides, with the names of the 12 children of the 12 tribes of Israel. Do you see how all the dots join? With the 12 apostles judging the 12 tribes of Israel being symbolized here. And if you join all these dot evidence 1, 2, 3, and 4, if you join them together simply, it should tell you that these 24 elders are made up of this group of the 12 sons of Jacob and the 12 apostles, because otherwise, if these 24 elders, like I said, if they are not part of this group of, in other words, the children of Jacob and the 12 apostles, they will have to be manifested if they are so important. And these are not angels. They are not angels because you might think that, that these 24 elders might be some type of highly ranked angels. They're not, because John the Apostle tells us when he was carried away in the Spirit that he saw 24 elders plus angels separately from the elders, 4 beasts, and the Lamb. Okay? So there has to be, otherwise, the 24 elders have to be made up of this group that is canonized, if you like, right here symbolically. Okay? So let me show you this bit of scriptures here in Revelation 4:4. Okay? So Revelation chapter 4, verse 4. And round about the throne were 24 seats, and upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold. Okay, so he's talking about elders, he's not talking about angels. Okay, he's talking about 24 elders. Okay, in Revelation 4:4. Now let us look at Revelation 4:6. Okay, so Revelation 4:6. And before the throne there was a sea of glass, like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts, full of eyes before and behind. So okay, I'm talking about the vision that John had when he was carried away in the Spirit. Okay, yeah, he saw the 24 elders, the 4 beasts, the Lamb plus angels. Okay, so we really Revelation 5:6. Okay, Revelation 5:6. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, and had been slain, having 7 horns. Horn is symbolic of the power of Jesus, and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent forth into all the earth. Okay, so this cluster of prophecies tells us that these 24 elders are not highly ranked angels, because John is telling us that he saw 24 elders, 4 beasts, the Lamb representing Jesus, plus angels. Okay. Now, in the first book of Corinthians, chapter 6, verses 2 and 3, tells us how signs shall judge the world, plus angels. Okay. And if this is the case, and these 24 elders, okay, they cannot be archangels or highly ranked angels. There has to be saints, because these elders have to be saints, because they are going to judge angels and the world. Okay, so they cannot be highly ranked angels like some people might think. Okay, so let us go then to First Corinthians. Okay, chapter 6. Okay, so go to the first book of Corinthians. Okay, chapter 6, verses 2 and 3. Do you not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are you unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Know you not that we shall judge angels? Okay? He had much more things that pertain to this life. Okay? So, what I'm saying here with this prophecy in First Corinthians is that these 24 elders, they cannot be any highly ranked angels, but in fact, there has to be signs because it is our signs that are going to charge the world plus angels. Okay? So, this proves that these 24 elders, they will have to be people that went up to heaven, meaning that, the 12 children of Jacob went to heaven and also the 12 apostles. Okay? That's backing up here the symbolism. And also in Matthew chapter 19, verse 28, Jesus had the 12 apostles sit on 12 throne, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. That's, if you like, in a way, symbolizing, the role of the 24 elders, the 12 apostles, the foundation stones, judging the 12 tribes, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. I'll show you that prophecy. So let us go to Matthew chapter 19. I've got a page marker here, folks. Bear with me. So I go to the book of Matthew chapter 19. Okay. 19 verse 28. So it's here. Okay. And Jesus said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that you which have followed me, in other words, the apostles, in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, you also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. See? So this prophecy is also not only for the millennial kingdom, but also it's actually represented here symbolically as well. Here the 12 apostles are actually the foundation stone, and they hold together the New Jerusalem, which has the 12 guides, with the names of the 12 children of Jacob. So when you join the dots, this first bit of evidence one, the symbolic, evidence two, showing that the 24 elders are not actually highly ranked archangels, okay, but there have to be actually be signs, that because it is the signs who are going to be judging the world and angels, okay. And then in the vision that John had, okay, when he was carried away in the spirit, according to Revelation 21:10, is that he saw 24 elders being 24 elders. He saw angels separately. He saw four beasts and the Lamb representing Jesus. Okay, and these 24 elders, just to recap, there have to be signs because it is as signs that judge angels. So these 24 elders cannot be highly ranked archangels. There have to be signs because we are going to be judging them. Okay, and then in Matthew here 19 verse 28, how the 12 apostles sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, and it's symbolized here. They are the foundation stones, is where the building sits on. So it's like the power is here, holding the new Jerusalem, the new nation of Israel. So yeah, it's so symbolic, folks. So like I said here, the evidence, if you think about it, symbolically speaking, and when you consider, the vision that John the Apostle had when he was carried away in the Spirit, and he saw these things, these 24 elders, angels, the four beasts, the Lamb, representing Jesus, and here we signs, like these 24 elders cannot be signs. I mean, cannot be archangels. They have to be signs because we are going to be judging archangels. And then you hear here the symbolism again, of Matthew 19:28. There has to be, folks. There has to be the 24 elders, the 12 children of Jacob, plus the 12 apostles, because, like I said earlier, if these 24 elders was some kind of higher order archangels and not part of this group of these 12, okay, the sons of Jacob and the 12 apostles, then they, if they were so important and so great to God that they are elders, elders speak to God, they will have to be manifested here somehow. The names will have to be here somewhere, in the new city because they are so important, to God, that they had to be here somewhere. But yet, we don't read any of the names, but we do read the names of the 12 apostles and the names of the 12 children of Jacob. It's all manifested here, you know. So, these people, if they are not there, part of this group, this is a mystery, and this mystery has to be solved, you know, because if these 24 elders are not they have to be very important to God, and because they are so important, if you think that they are not part of this group, then they somehow will have to be manifested here, and they are not. But you see the manifestation of the 12 children of Jacob and the 12 apostles right here being symbolized in the New Jerusalem, which is actually going to be the nation of Israel as well, because God is going to be dwelling with his children, God and Jesus, you know. And the nations, it says in Revelation, are going to come in to worship God and Jesus. So, the evidence is overwhelming when you give it a bit of a think and you think about these prophecies analytically. The evidence, is pointing towards these 24 elders being part of this group of the 12s, the sons of Jacob and the 12 apostles, like is symbolized here. We Christians follow the cross. This is a symbol that, we follow Jesus, And in the Old Testament, in the altar of burnt offering, it had 4 horns. The horns is actually symbolic of the power of God, and the priest has to put blood here on each horn, symbolizing the blood of Jesus for the remission of sins, which was going to be a type in the future when Jesus came to shed his blood to make the blood atonement for the sins of the world. So I just kept it simple, folks. Thanks for watching. I'm just gonna go scan these very slowly, so that if you're watching at home, you can actually read my evidence here. Okay. You can always pause your video and read this. Okay. So there's that. Okay. There's evidence number 1. Okay. The symbolism. Okay. Evidence 1. Okay. Evidence number 2. The cluster of prophecies in which John the Apostle sees when he's carried away in the spirit. Okay. He sees 24 elders, angels, the 4 beasts plus the Lamb representing Jesus, who is going to open up the book. Okay, the book of Revelation, if you like. In 1 Corinthians, evidence 3, chapter 6, verses 2 and 3, how it says that the Son shall judge the world plus angels. So this means that these 24 elders cannot be archangels because there have to be signs. They cannot be archangels because signs will judge angels rather. Okay, so there has to be people that went up to heaven. In other words, in my view, according to the symbolism here, there has to be the 12 children of Jacob and the 12 apostles. Okay. And of course, here on evidence 4, in Matthew chapter 19, verse 28, the 12 apostles sitting on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, 12 thrones. Okay. So what did John the Apostle see? 24 elders, and they had crowns, Sounds very familiar, doesn't it? 12 thrones, If you add, the 12 children of Jacob plus the 12 apostles symbolized here, you got the 24 elders. And why is it that it needs to be the 12 children of Jacob as elders? Why? Good question. Because the 12 children of Jacob represents Israel in its entirety. They represent the 12 children of the 12 tribes of Israel. So the 12 children of Jacob, okay, they represent the entire nation of Israel. Okay, that's why they are elders. They represent the entire nation of Israel, the 12 children of Jacob. Okay, and then you have the 12 apostles here. As the foundation stones. Why is it that the 12 apostles are the foundation stones? Because Jesus used the 12 apostles to spread the gospel worldwide. And that is extremely important, to spread the gospel worldwide, because so that people know that Jesus is God Himself, our Lord and Savior. That's why they are the foundation stones. And this is why the 12 apostles clearly symbolize here, and the 12 children of Jacob also symbolize here quite clearly in the new city, with the guides. They make up, the 24 elders, because between this group of 12 plus 12 equals 24, they represent the entire Jewish covenant. They represent all Israel, the old Jewish, the entire covenant. And interestingly, the city is colored in jasper, representing, that God is an all-consuming fire. I just did a video on that. Jasper is actually the favorite color of God, and even the first foundation stone is actually made of jasper, and that is no coincidence. God has a purpose in everything that He does. So this is what I wanted to show you, all these clusters of prophecies here, the symbolism, number one, number two, showing you that John the Apostle, when he was carried away in the Spirit, he saw the elders, the four beasts, the Lamb, representing Jesus, plus, the angels. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2 and 3 tells us that, saints will judge the world and angels. So that means that the 24 elders, they cannot be highly ranked angels or angels, because we, the saints, are going to be judging angels. And so the elders, they have to be saints, they have to be people. And according to the symbolism here, they are represented here by the 12 children of Jacob and the 12 apostles. And of course, Matthew 19:28 here, the 12 apostles sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, symbolic here, So yeah, this is pretty clear, folks. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.